Hello, my name's Neil Thompson. I work for Balfour Beatty. I'm the project manager for our InnovateUK project with the FIS, which is the fit out and interior sector, and 3D Repo. Two parts to our presentation today. Going to go through our InnovateUK project and talk about Bid4Free and what that means, and an introduction to 3D Repo, which is the underlying technology that we're using to develop our platform. So, Bid4Free, what's that? We had to keep the industry expert anonymous, but for those that work in construction might know that for those who make the biggest mistakes tend to win these contracts. And construction, I guess, has a reputation for being over budget and not on time. And part of that is cultural, part of that is technological, and another part of that is the processes that we do. So the problem that we were looking to solve was, well, how do we go about doing business in construction in a digital world? Quite a big question to ask. We looked at different problems, and the one that we did in our market research was looking at how do we get the smaller members in the supply chain, the SMEs, to participate in a digital construction process. So, for example, we did some market research around 3D viewers. Lots of 3D viewers out there, lots of 3D viewers out here today, and you'll notice that their price points are very high. Our idea was, how can we deliver that level of technology, but not at tens of thousands of pounds, not even at thousands of pounds, but for almost free. And Pavel will explain how we achieved that. So, quick introduction from me. We'll talk about our progress on the project a little bit later, but I'll hand over to Pavel, who's going to introduce you to 3D Repo. And I'm going to hand this over.
Thank you, Neil. Now, I will introduce you to 3D Repo as a company and a product, and then I will talk about the Bid4Free into a little bit more detail. What is 3D Repo? 3D Repo is a version-controlled repository for BIM models. We try to embrace the collaboration in the construction industry. I am an architect myself. I worked for architects for long years. I gained experience in construction. I worked on this project. I worked on Olympic Stadium transformation. I was heavily involved in the design of the new roof. And I was collecting the data from the engineers, architects and fabricators, whether it was spreadsheets, point clouds, and all data of all sorts. And I plugged them into my parametric model. And I learned on the job how critical it is to have a decent collaboration tool, which we still didn't have on that job. And that made me to decide to start with 3D Repo as their BIM manager. Now, construction industry is quite a complex industry, as this diagram shows. So we have various stakeholders with various relationships between them during the project life cycle. And as I mentioned, we have a great design tools, but we're still missing the collaboration platform. And the information is scattered all over the servers, whether it's architects, engineers, or client servers. So it can get a little bit inconsistent. Let's put it that way. 3D Repo, where we try to tackle this, and we're placing ourselves right in the middle of that information mess, if you like. We try to connect all parties so they can communicate and share information between each other as seamless as possible. We're introducing social media features into construction industry, like live commenting, like you have, for example, on Facebook. You can comment on a picture, lol, and you can do similar things in our platform on the models. And we believe that with this approach we can deliver projects on time and on budget. One of the key benefits of the platform is that we can deliver better design, and this is really important to me as an architect, because if we save time, these bars represent project duration. And this is the current status, and this is where we can be with 3D Repo. So we can save a lot of time on data transfers, and if I can spend my time better on designing and coming up with better solutions, that's good for the design. Then I have more time for coordination, which means then we can build quicker, and we can deliver a better product in shorter time. We pride ourselves that we already implemented virtual reality into our platform, and we believe that virtual reality has a place in the construction. For example, we can use it for site inductions. Workers, before they enter the site, they could see the site in a virtual reality. They could be warned about possible risks and threats, and this can improve the health and safety on sites. And as I mentioned, we are right in the middle of the information flow, so we make the communication really streamlined. And if you add all these benefits together, we believe that you can deliver better projects and make actually more money on them, right? So it's not about just making things pretty, as I as an architect prefer, but we can make them also profitable. Now, I will flick through a few projects, and we are happy to show you live demos in our booth M41A. We have live demonstrations. We worked on a few large-scale projects. This is King's Cross in London. My favorite, Olympic Stadium transformation, where we federated models from various sources, from fabricators, engineers and architects. We're currently working with Canary Wharf contractors and developing some custom features for them. And we also work on a Crossrail. The platform is really robust, so we can use it for infrastructure projects as well. It's not only for architecture. This is City of Hull, and the beauty of the platform is that it runs through a web browser. You don't need any additional installation. You just open your laptop, or you use your mobile, if you like. Any device which connects to internet can run our platform. And this is a screenshot from the platform. I'm happy to show you the live demo if you visit us in our booth. It works just fine. Now, our business model is fairly straightforward. The software is open source, which means we don't charge for the software, and we are happy for other people to collaborate and take part on the development. We charge for the services. We charge for the data hosting and technical support, stuff which runs on the background. And also, if you have some features in your mind, then we can develop them for you. And we are also open to commercial licensing later on. These are the main core features which make the platform truly collaborative. So first one is it's cloud-based. So it's not like, for example, when you want to federate models these days, you can use product like Navisworks, which is great, but it still sits in your computer in your office. We are cloud-based, so anyone can access the model anytime they wish. So which means it really encourages collaboration between the parties in the project. We support more than 40 formats, so you don't need to worry about whether my software is supported or not. This is not an issue. We live in a different age. It's not about problems with exports and exports. And as I mentioned, we already implemented the virtual reality, and we believe there are potentials in construction. These are some of the technical specifications, out of which the most important is its cross-platform solutions. So whether you're using Mac or Windows or Linux, whether you're using your tablet or laptop or Android device, it doesn't matter. Everything will work. We support QR code, so information can be accessed by scanning a QR code, which can be very helpful for facility management, for example. And there are other uses as well. And this is us. We are a London-based company, as my accent might not suggest. Josef is a founder of the company and a computer scientist. This is me, architect with experience in construction. Carmen is a lead developer, specialist in optimization of the code. Tim is our CTO and system mastermind. And Pinakin is a software developer with long years of experience with software development. Now, so this is us. This is 3D Repo. And Bid4Free is one of the modules we're building on our platform, which we collaborate with Neil and Balfour Beatty, FIS and InnovateUK. So what we try to tackle, again, the familiar diagrams, this is where we are right now, okay? And the tendering process, as Neil mentioned, is far from ideal, let's put it that way, and can get quite messy. You can get overloaded with information during the bidding process. And then, then mistakes can happen, and this is not really ideal solution. And then another problem we have in these days is that your information is in PDF format, which as a spreadsheet or drawing, it's not really helpful. Our platform, on the other hand, takes the pressure from the main contractor. You upload data to the platform, and contractor can access it as well. By the way, do we have any subcontractors in the audience? No. So I will focus on the main contractor mostly. One of the benefits of the platform is also that once you collect the data in a reasonable fashion, then you can analyze them, and then you have a good repository of historical data, which can help you in your business. Now, the platform is free to use for the subcontractors. And I guess that's the key, because if it was paid, that wouldn't make much sense. And also, it runs on low-end devices. It runs on an iPhone or on a smartphone. So, because we don't expect small companies to invest in expensive computers, that just doesn't make sense. Platform has also built-in intelligence. It checks, for example, you finishing your bidding proposal. And instead of you want to put, let's say, price for square meter of a partition, and instead of, let's say, £250, you put ABC. You make a mistake, right? The platform checks it and flags it that this information needs to be corrected. And this is the way we can avoid a lot of mistakes. As for example, the one who makes the biggest mistake wins. Which, yeah, it's probably the bad news for some contractors, but yeah, we try our best. The platform also provides basic measuring tools, because we believe, on one hand, yes, the main contractor needs to provide information about the quantities, but again, it's also a responsibility of the subcontractor to check the quantities, because if I'm a subcontractor and I need to order tons of steel, I better check it myself. Right, this is a slightly techie slide, how it works. So we have a model on one side, 3D information, and then we have specifications which comes from the architects, engineers, QSs, and we merge them together. The information is processed, and then it's fed to the supply chain, and then we get the information back as a bits. Now, we started the project just a few months ago, and I will show you now a few screenshots. This is what runs in the background. We already started to lay out the basic structure, which is nothing you need to worry about. What we try to achieve is clean, straightforward, crisp user interface, where you can see here you log in into the platform as you would log in into LinkedIn profile or Facebook. You have your information about your company, and then there is a section with project details, which is something Balfour Beatty will fill in, or main contractor fills in. Then you can move on to another section about the contract details, and this is something which main contractor has some ideas about the contract, and then you have also a few templates where you can also put your own terms and conditions. And this is we believe the most important part. When you go to bill of quantities, you have your spreadsheet on one side, and you can have a model on the background. So you can select the items in a spreadsheet, and they are highlighted in a model. And now we believe that this is a really important tool to have to avoiding a lot of mistakes, or to be able to price precisely. Because, for example, you can have 300 square meters of ceiling in a spreadsheet, but it doesn't tell you whether it's a rectangle, whether it's a complicated shape, is it maybe few parts stitched together. And by simply looking on a 3D model, you can see the complexity of the job, and then you can price accordingly without making silly mistake. So yeah, this is the 3D repo and Bid4Free in a nutshell. Thank you very much. We are more than happy to answer any questions, and please visit us in our stand M41. We'll show you live demos, and by the way, we have the Oculus Rift as well, the virtual reality goggles, so don't miss that. Thank you very much.